Hunter.
Reese.
It's been a while since you've been in the studio.
I know it's actually the first time I've been in
this
studio.
studio.
Yeah.
You've been in my home sets. You've been at the events. But
yeah, I've done those.
now we have our own space. Welcome to Throne Room Production Studio. Welcome to Out at Reese's.
It's freaking awesome in here. I love the whole set. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Thank you. And on that note, welcome back, everybody, to Out at Reese's podcast. I'm your host, Reese Shalvis. Joining me once again on the podcast, we got Hunter Vodopich.
Yep.
Or whatever you want me to refer to you as.
That's fine, dude.
Just, I know you got a couple different last names you kind of jump between sometimes. Maybe
switch it up a little bit, you know. Never keep everyone on their toes.
Never know what's going to come next.
Exactly, dude.
Maybe you'll throw a third one in just some day. Just
thinking about it.
So what you been doing, man? How you been? It's been probably it's been over a year, I think, since you've actually been on the podcast.
Yeah, I think the last time I helped out, I was just doing pictures. The last two times, actually.
Pictures, and you were on the event podcast.
Oh, yeah, I was on that event.
The first, half of it or so. Mm-hmm. Can't remember.
While we were waiting for the artists to do their thing and come up to us. But, yeah, then at the Storm Tour one, I was just doing pictures.
Yeah, and we were doing the... I think we were doing like that improv storytelling. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
We were at the booth just over the podcast.
I do remember that.
Never went public though, but it's kind of fun.
But it's out fun there game. In the archives,
somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I still have it somewhere. I'm not actually sure.
No, that was a golden piece, right there.
I should still have it. I think I talked about an old guy getting something.
Something.
I can't remember what it was.
Something for sure. It was a story for sure. I know that.
Yeah, dude, for real. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Last year was kind of a crazy time. Last year, right?
Yeah, last year. Mm-hmm.
Can you believe it's been over a year since we did even like that Young Fly family event?
Dude, I know. It was crazy to think that it was that long ago too.
Jeez.
I remember it like we did it like a few weeks ago.
Right. And I remember because we were with Daniel,
mm-hmm, yep.
And we just we had that cool little spot like all to ourselves, just up the stairs. Boom, there's the event.
That place was so.
You had the event cool. And the podcast, and the sound was pretty loud, but it worked out.
Yeah, and in podcast form, when I listened to what you posted, the music didn't really cut in too bad at all. It was kind of more like background noise in a way.
And then we had young Archie. He came and just turned on that setting, and it upped the quality by 2 times or it helped whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, those were some different times. They were so different.
Yeah, it was.
It's like we're all in different places
within a year too.
Mentally, physically. Yeah.
How fast time changes everything.
Dude,
it's wild.
Dude, time is such a weird thing. We were actually talking about this in the car on the way down.
Yeah, we were.
We're kind of talking about how just as you get older, time starts to really speed up.
Yeah, it flies by.
And it's kind of scary, dude. I don't want to suddenly be 45 years old, okay, when I hit my 40s, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to bring it on. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm not there. I'm still in my 20s.
Yeah,
I'm
still
almost
young,
25, so it's
I don't know. To me, it's kind of like a love-hate thing, because I'm excited to be 45 with my kids or my grandchildren and being like, you want to see this crazy-ass podcast I did a few years ago, and show them all the old videos and all this stuff that we used to do when we were young, because I feel like with the technology now, back when our parents were kids, they got black and white photos of their grandparents,
and they show us.
Yeah,
right? They're look at these photos back.
Yeah, exactly. But now, dude, we got full-on videos and all this stuff that we can show them, and they can kind of see the exact life we lived.
Yeah, it's crazy because you'll be look at these cool podcasts I did a few years ago. Be like, Grandpa, that was 25 years ago, and you're like existential crisis mode.
A flashback right there.
Because it's already been 10 years since we met.
Yeah, and we were talking about how crazy that was.
10 years, and it's just, dude, time is insane. One thing about you look at time with media specifically. Mm-hmm. Let's look at movies, pictures, and it's you're like, oh, that looks so old from the 70s, 60s, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, at what point will it stop looking old? You know, because even in like looking at 14 years ago, 2010 movies from then are starting to look aged.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the quality. Because I remember back then, it's like, this looks really good. You go back, watch it, and you're like, that looks kind of old.
Yeah.
14 years ago. And it's like, it's got to stop. It has to have a limit at some point where it's like, even 50 years from that point will still look essentially the same. Because
yeah. You know, I actually was having this conversation kind of similar, but it was about like video games and CGI and graphics with how good everything's getting. At what point do you think the threshold will be where you're playing Call of Duty and you're not convinced that you're actually shooting a real person? You know, like at what point do they kind of just be like, okay, we have to stop here. This is as good of graphics as we can make. We can't go beyond this.
Because if we go beyond it, then it becomes too
then
real.
It looks real, and they think they're committing real war crimes. You know, like
yeah, or if you see gameplay, you think you're watching people actually get killed.
Exactly.
You know, that's kind of an interesting point. I haven't actually thought about
like,
that.
Yeah, where do you? I just don't know where that like threshold will be, or if like they'll ever reach a point where they, you know, it's weird to think about.
You know, it's also interesting, and I think there's a certain, what would be the term? A certain threshold that we haven't passed with gaming graphics yet.
Yeah.
Where like, I feel like, and it's one thing. I've seen like, especially with Unreal Engine 5, I've seen some insane demos that look real.
Oh yeah.
You're like, this looks like I'm watching someone took an 8K video. But then suddenly the character comes in and I'm like, I can tell that's a video game.
Yeah.
It looks insanely detailed. There's nothing off about it. It looks real. Like it looks like it has all the details it needs to be a person.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it that you can tell is a video game. And I know it's not just the animations, because animating like facial expressions is insanely difficult.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's tiny micro expressions all over. But there's always been something about it that you can just tell it's not real. You can tell it's
kind of like that
a video game.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, exactly. And we haven't passed that threshold yet. I haven't seen. The only thing I've seen closest to passing that threshold are in like the tiny game demos where they're motion capturing someone's face and then animating it, and it's like,
yeah,
right. But like, I don't know, dude. I just haven't seen past that yet.
Yeah.
At least with any actual games that are out and not just these little demos that they're making.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't know if maybe that's something we can't get past, is like there's always going to be some aspect of it that you know is fake. But man, stuff looks so real. Like Mortal Kombat, the new one, I've seen like some of those fatalities that kind of make me sick, dude. I'm like, that looks a little too like actual.
But the thing about that, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm essentially, I guess, in a way, biased towards the fact that I know it's a video game. But like when I was at your house playing, and it was the Mortal Kombat 1, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we were playing?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one.
We were playing that, and as we did the fatalities, as realistic as it looked, maybe it's just my biased brain knowing it's fake already. I could just like still see that it wasn't real. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
And your mind could kind of separate.
Right. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like a psychological thing. Maybe we have hit those graphics, but because everyone just knows it's a video game, it kind of holds that back, that that confusion if it's real or fake.
And that could very well be it. There's like there's that one, it's that video game that looks like a body cam. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, was it like found footage or something, or something?
Found footage or like redacted
something. But that one looks real.
Yeah, that one was weird.
But that one kind of like, I feel like if it wasn't for the shaky body cam footage, the slight, fisheye effect, the camera kind of filter to it, I don't think it would look as real as it does. I think they did that because they want it to look real from that perspective. But if you just did like a perfect from the eye kind of point of view, probably wouldn't look as real as it does. It looks fun though. I haven't played it yet.
Neither have I.
I think it's in early access right now on Steam.
Is it? Okay, that makes sense.
So
I think because like when I've seen clips of it, it kind of gives me the exact same feeling of watching like real body cam footage.
It's insane. It's like they built the atmosphere, right? They built like it looks like you're watching. Like there was a debate when the creator first released clips of the like teaser clips of like the development, like just like here's some clips from in-game footage. People were arguing about whether it was actually in game or if it was.
They were tricked, dude. This is 100% an actual copyright error.
Yeah, or something, right? Or they're saying it's pre-rendered. It doesn't actually look that good when you play, which it does.
Yeah,
like that's exactly how it looks, and it's like the only thing that like can throw you off really with this game is like when the animations don't quite, when there's like little bugs in the animations. Like my cousin sent a clip in and the body started like kind of doing the clipping glitch kind of thing, and so I was like, I mean, it is early access, but
I saw a clip of it where I can't remember which Twitch streamer was playing it, but he like got shot in the game, and he looked down and the blood didn't look real by any means, but the way it was like dripping was kind of cool because it was like dripping and leaving dots all over the floor wherever he walked and stuff. That looked really cool, but the blood looked like video game blood.
But blood has been, I feel like, a hard one to master.
Yeah, I feel like it has to.
There's like several like key components in games that I've never seen done where it's like you can't really tell from a distance. I think it looks fine. Like for example, I think like leaves and plants from a distance can look like it's just straight out of a photo or a video. Yeah, like a real photo. But like when you get up close, there's like a weird like flatness to them that they don't have that micro depth to it, right? And so you're like, that looks kind of just like a weird. It almost looks like they took the texture of a real leaf, slapped it onto a flat texture or just a flat entity in the game.
They threw a bunch of them on a tree and called it good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
which looks good from a distance.
Yeah, exactly. No one's gonna get close to that fake tree, So
my problem that I've had with like graphics in games for years is like, I've always liked really high performance in games on my computer, you know. I've always liked high frame rate, but I've also liked really testing games graphics. Okay. And playing with the high quality graphics, and it's so dumb. I don't know why my brain does it, but it's like I'll be playing and I always have to stop and admire graphics. This looks pretty good. I get close, and it's like even in the best graphically looking games, if you get like inches within a texture, you can start seeing that it looks once you like a video game texture, right? Not real. Which you're not supposed to be doing that with games.
Yeah, you're like hyper analyzing it a little bit.
So it makes me think like, oh, maybe these graphics aren't that good. And then I'm like, no, this is just how video games are. Yeah,
dude, I'm really picky with them in a way. Like we'll take like Destiny for example. When you have a cape, the moment the cape phases through the gun, I lose interest. I don't know why.
I don't even want to play anymore.
If something phases through something and it shouldn't, it bothers me to my core, dude. Like, I don't know why.
Dude, I kind of get that when it comes to, like, certain games that are meant to be immersive, to really just immerse you into the world. And you're, like, getting into it, and then that happens, and it just kind of, like...
Yeah, it kind of, like... Oh,
it throws your... Like, it's like...
Yeah, that to me is like once that happens, it takes the immersion away, and it's like instantly like, oh yeah, I'm just playing a video game. It's not like it's not as cool as I think it is or something,
That's why you'll never be able to get to like a perfect space game, right? Because for me, going into like Starfield, Star Citizen, No Man's Sky, all those kind of games, right, with like huge, massive exploration, I'll go into it and I'm like, because usually the introduction to those kind of games, super immersive. You're like just throwing you into stuff. You're like, this is crazy. Yeah. And then once you're free to kind of go do your own thing, that's where you see kind of the drop in like immersion. Yeah. Because it's like now you're seeing this NPC walk backwards with his head turning around, or like just something weird. Just even if it's small. Yeah. That just looks uncanny. You're kind of just thrown out of it. Yeah.
And space is such a hard one, too, because to make a video game, like, it's so vast. You have to have so much stuff. But at the same time, space is so empty, too.
I mean, it's the emptiness that can be part of the selling point in that
Yeah.
sense, but also once you go find something, if it doesn't look good,
Mm-hmm.
then that just sucks.
It's like a very fine line, because you're absolutely right. The emptiness and like the vastness of the world can really help, but if it's too much or too little, it'll totally like destroy it. You know?
That's actually a problem No Man's Sky had. Was
Okay.
I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
Still one of my favorite games to this day. I haven't played it in a while, but they have essentially 18 quintillion planets.
Damn.
Right.
Okay.
All procedurally generated.
Yeah.
We're not even going to explore 5% of the universe because it's so big.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is every planet, for the most part, is like so just thick with a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it's too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, there are some kind of desert, just like empty planets. But I don't know. To me, it's too much. And I think Star Citizen does it pretty well. I don't know if you've ever played that yet.
I've seen clips of it. That looks good.
They do it well with like. They only have a limited number of planets right now. I think they only have like 8 planets or maybe a few star systems at this point now. It's been a while since I've looked into it.
Gotcha.
Like compared to Star Citizen, everything's just like, there's 1,000 planets there, 18 quintillion on No Man's Sky, and then Star Citizen you have like maybe a few done solar systems or something like that. And so with that in mind, it's like Star Citizen has done really well with the fewer planets they have.
Yeah.
But you don't have a million planets to just jump to, which there's kind of a balance, of like, all right, how many is too much? Because then you lose like uniqueness.
Yeah.
Because everything kind of starts to look the same, like on No Man's
Very
Sky.
repetitive. Yeah.
Or you have Star Citizen where you have only a few planets.
And it's
how much is there to explore on each planet or whatever?
It's not enough. Yeah.
Starfield, I feel like, is kind of in the middle. They have a bunch of...
Yeah, Starfield's pretty good in that aspect, I think.
I think it is when you go to the generated areas, like the actual quest areas that are like the main quests and stuff. They're always done really well,
more fleshed out. Yeah.
But then when you go to a random spot on a planet, you kind of just like kind of a weird generation.
There's that because you can go to Earth, right?
Yeah,
and it's just all desert, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's just dead planet now.
Yeah, I watched a clip of a dude he went to Earth, and I can't remember what like state or area he landed at, but he built like a Waffle House. It was a little base.
Waffle House. Yeah. That's one of the things that in the end of times, Waffle House will still be standing
and be a Waffle House
open 24/7.
Exactly, dude. No matter what happens, you cannot stop the Waffle House.
There'll be a planet Waffle House.
A whole planet of Waffle Houses. I could get down with that.
Well, think about it. Maybe like in the future with time, like you think like all these like companies, like restaurants, McDonald's started in a small little shack, and now they have whole ass museums, buildings they own. Maybe eventually they'll own whole cities that's owned by McDonald's or Walmart or whoever. Then you'll have a whole state. Once we start like branching out to other planets, right? Companies will start just buying whole ass planets. We'll start just mass producing whatever. It'll be like this is Walmart. It's the planet.
Is Walmart. The whole planet.
Planet
dude.
Walmart.
I could get down with a Planet Walmart. Dude, that would be cool. I'd be honored if I could meet an alien race and be the first one to introduce them to either a Waffle House or a Walmart.
It's like language, no. Waffle House.
Waffle House.
Yeah, dude, like I think kind of back on the time subject in general, I think what scares me most about the future is like I'm not as scared as much about dying of like, oh, what's after death kind of thing. I'm more worried of like, dude, this is my life. I don't want to just leave it behind, And so the older I get, the closer I get to like becoming of that older age. I'm like, dang, like when we talked about being 45, right? Like I agree with you. Kind of, I know this is kind of jumping back to the beginning, but with how you're like at 45, you want to have a family, kids, whatever. It's like I do too. I can't wait to see that day. But also when I'm 45, it's like I got maybe 30, 40 years left. I'm over halfway through my life.
It's still a lot, though. You know, at 45, you're still not old. You know, you can
Right.
still experience a lot at 45.
But then suddenly you'll be 60, and then
We don't think about that.
and then 70, maybe 80, and at that point you're like, it's coming.
80, yeah, 80s, 80. I'm sure you've met an 80-year-old before. Most of them are like, yeah, I'm kind of just ready to go at this point. You know,
I hope that's me. I hope I'm looking forward to it. Like I hope I'm like, yeah, when it takes me, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I don't want to be scared of death when I'm that old.
Yeah, I would like to get to a point where when I am like 70 or 80 or whatever, I can happily say, yeah, I lived a great life. I'm good now, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be nice. Just kind of looking back with your homies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember 50 years ago.
50 years ago.
Because right now we're like 10 years ago we met.
Yeah, we said 10 years.
When I saw you, when I met, we were hanging out and that kid like punched you or something, and then you smacked the rail and
he
broke your hand.
He hit me in the
nuts,
in the no square, yeah,
in the balls.
And I didn't want to hit him, but I was like, and I just I
hit the rail.
I broke my pinky.
Wasn't it like a fracture or something?
Yeah, I fractured my pinky.
I remember that. That's crazy.
I'm glad you do. It sucked for me, you know.
Oh yeah, sucked for yeah. Yeah, dude. Back then, I think I was like, didn't I try to teach you parkour at one point?
Yeah. You taught me a few moves, and I was just never good at it. Could not grasp the concept.
It's weird thinking back to like that time, because just like how long it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years.
No, exactly.
But yet so much has changed, like entirely. I'm not the same person I was then. I don't even look the same.
Yeah, you didn't have a beard 10 years ago.
The lifestyle's not the same. Everything's just completely different.
Yeah, like my wants and beliefs are completely different from when I was 10, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. When I was 10, dude, I wanted to be a professional football player.
I wanted to be a professional skateboarder.
Okay.
Which I got back into skateboarding.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
so it's been pretty fun. I've been able to land my first kickflip.
Nice.
So,
heck yeah.
But yeah, dude, isn't that weird?
It is.
Like you have like these dreams as a kid, and they slowly fade away. I feel like it's not just an overnight suddenly they're gone.
No.
It's just like shifts.
I wouldn't.
You know?
I'd argue that they don't like even fully fade away, because I feel like down deep into my core, I would love to be a professional football player. Still, you know.
Yeah, I mean, being a professional skateboarder would still be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think it's also the desire to actually chase that dream is what fades away. Right?
Oh yeah.
It's like I want to be a professional skateboarder. I wanted to be a storm chaser, and even now I'm like, dude, being a storm chaser would be sick. Chasing tornadoes across the country.
That'd be cool.
Just like documenting them, creating documentaries.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's no desire to like actually pursue that anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a lot of stuff that, you know, like the storm chaser. You're like, that would be so cool to do. But yeah, you kind of just choose one of the many things you want to experience, and you only pursue one or two or maybe three of them, you know.
But why is that? If you think like why is it, right? Why is it that we only choose one or two? It's like, especially most people aren't going to get to a level of wealth, like a high level of wealth, doing their one thing that they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to do 3 or 4 different things, because usually you have to focus all your time and stuff and energy into that one thing to like get to that, right? But if you're just kind of getting by, making a living, why not just go after multiple things?
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
if you're someone who's, you know, like young and single or something, you have nothing stopping you. But I feel a vast majority of the people, the reason they don't branch out is because they maybe had a kid young, or they got married young, or they did all this stuff because they're afraid of, because I've talked to a few people and they're terrified of having a kid in their 30s. And I'm like, why, dude? Like, you're still young. But I feel like there's a lot of people that have that mindset. And then when you have a kid or you settle down or something like that, a majority of your focus goes towards that life and not exactly the life that you 100% wanted. maybe you wanted a kid ultimately, but it's not 100% of what you pictured you'd be at or something.
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? Because even a year ago me, 2 years ago me, my whole adult life me, the thought of getting a girl pregnant and like being like, oh, I have a kid coming, terrified me. I was like, I don't know what I like stress thinking about this, especially when I'd have girlfriends in the past. I like stress thinking about that.
Okay.
But this last year, I've just been like I'm 24.
Yeah.
Right. Almost 25, like halfway to 25, whatever. And I look at that and I'm like, I think about it. I'm like, well, right now, am I in any place financially that I could like, that it wouldn't be, that it'd like, for me, it'd be incredibly hard to have a kid right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just there's so many things I'm trying to work towards and everything. But if it happens, am I scared of it happening right now? And I've kind of realized like, not anymore.
No.
Like,
yeah.
It'll be stressful. It'll be hard. But I feel like I'm emotionally and mentally prepared to like switch my mind.
Yeah.
Switch that flip that switch. Like I'm already ready to flip it if anything happens, you know?
Okay.
Because if something happened, I'm ready to like, all right, it's time to start just
be a
really
dad.
dive in and like got 9 months to really prepare. Right? You essentially have 9 months.
Yeah.
To prepare for that.
You do at least get a period to get ready, you know? Yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah.
And I don't. There's a lot you can do with 9 months.
There's a lot.
You know, I feel like the last year, last 12 months, I've done a ton. It's like, okay, I lose a few months of that. I think I can still, especially when you have a kid coming, I feel like there'll be like, it'll almost be easier to discipline yourself to do what you need to.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I have to. Like this kid's coming. He's my kid. I gotta be prepared to take care of him. You know. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm not ready lifestyle wise. I'm not ready financially for a kid, but mentally, emotionally, if it happened, not that I'm trying to have one.
Yeah.
If it happened, I don't think I'd be too like scared.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I'm not, you know, financially ready or like you know, there's things I still want to experience. Like one of my biggest fears about having a kid is thinking, oh, my dad's kind of a loser. So which is why I like to pursue all this, I guess, like dangerous or adrenaline type things, because I want my kids to look at me and be like, dang, my dad's like dope, you know? Yeah. And I haven't done all those things yet. So they need to wait a little bit.
Dad lore. You got to build your dad lore.
Exactly, man. But ultimately, yeah, if it were to happen, I would just lock it in. You know, I'd be like, well, I don't have a choice. I'm going to lock in for this child, you know? So
me and my friend Christian, we were joking about like how like using your lifestyle to like in your dating apps. So like for example, like right now I'm boxing, podcasting, hiking, whatever, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
And it's like doing all these other different things.
Yeah.
And we thought of making one of those like promo videos for like dating apps.
Promo
like
video?
Where it's like
okay.
it's like me on a chair in
okay.
like a red, like nice red suit or something,
okay.
wearing sunglasses, black background, kind of like you know that meme or whatever, or like those commercials for beer where it's the dude sitting in the chair, but
like
it's like a black.
The Dos Equis commercial or something.
Yeah, something like that. And it's just a black background, maybe a little bit of smoke coming up from the ground. You know, maybe you're holding a cigar.
Okay.
It takes like different shots panning across you up close, and each different time it cuts to a different angle and pan. It says something else. It's like boxer, like on screen, like boxer, podcaster, you know.
I would swipe right on you so fast.
Dude, wouldn't that be so sick?
That would, if I was a girl, that would work on me so quickly.
Well, and especially since we have the production studio, it's like we have the resources to make that now.
I think you should do it.
But I mean, I have a girlfriend now, so it wouldn't. Yeah, if I made that, it wouldn't be for a dating app.
Yeah, that makes sense. But someone who doesn't have that, no other dude is gonna have that on their profile.
No one. That's gonna get likes. Like some girls don't think that's stupid and swipe left. But I think you'd see an increase of likes for sure.
I think so.
It'd be like, this is funny.
This is pretty good.
Bro made this for dating apps.
Yeah, like, that's hilarious. He was bored and made it for a dating app. Like, that's hilarious.
Steal that idea.
Yeah, steal it.
Steal it. I don't care.
We're going to trademark it, though.
We'll take a 10% commission.
Yeah.
Even though you're not going to make money on it.
We don't know.
We could sell it.
Could sell it.
Sell a template for it. A deep fake. So we make me with it, but then we deep fake people's faces onto it.
I like
Sell
it.
that to them for like $10. There we go. Business idea.
That would just be like a more intense version of catfishing, though.
Yeah.
You know?
They'd be like, so you're a boxer? Like,
we can edit that part. You know?
put it what they actually do.
Yeah.
Video gamer. Sleeper. Construction worker.
Procrastinator.
Masturbator.
I like that one. It's good. You can look for it online. We're gonna open a shop for dating commercials.
We'll call it what would we call it? The website.
Ooh,
the service.
The service.
Call it
just a name right off the top of the head here.
Yeah, just something like Badass Pan Shot.
Badass Pan Shot.
Yeah. .com/
We could call it with since it's related to Out at Reese's, we could call it Out at Romance.
Ooh, Out at Romance.
Get a little spicy in there, you know.
We have different templates that we sell. One where it's
it.
like holding roses. Instead of on a chair, it's like holding roses.
Yeah. We can do a sexy firefighter template too,
Ooh.
you know.
That once we get rich and buy sports cars, we could do some sports car ones.
There we go.
That one might pull.
That one might work. That'd be the best seller for sure.
Oh man, this is a good idea, right? Hey, can you write that down?
Write that down real quick.
Thanks.
I love that.
Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, dude, dating's been weird. Yeah. Especially like looking at dating from when I wasn't a young, I'm still a young adult, but like a younger adult. I feel like with time as an adult, when you're fresh out of high school, 18 years old, within 6 years where we're at, right? Time is so different. Like maturity wise, I feel like you mature way fast.
Oh, insanely fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because you're in the real world, getting real world experience. And so like when it comes to like dating, especially dating apps kind of suck. Yeah. Honestly, I hate them. I mean, okay, I can't say that too much because I met my girlfriend through a dating app.
But you can still admit they do suck.
But they do suck.
They do work sometimes, you know. But
I got lucky.
Suck.
I got lucky matching with her. Absolutely, you know. She's amazing. But I hate dating apps.
They're, I have. Ultimately, I don't like them. There is a love-hate relationship because it is kind of neat to like. It connects you to a ton of people. Yeah. And that in that aspect, it's cool. But at the same time, like we were talking earlier, I'm much more of I like to meet them and learn who they are in person than online. You know,
that's how it was for me and my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. She, I was actually telling you this in the car. Once we planned the first date, and didn't talk at all for a week and a half until the first date. It was more we talked right before the date to make sure that the date was still on, and that was it.
That was it, just to make sure.
I prefer that. I don't know. I just don't like texting that much when I'm getting to know someone, and so it's just a lot nicer to
And I feel like
get to know them authentically like that.
Yeah, and after the first date too, then you can text because you've picked up more of their personality, and it's a little easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Text,
they know that how you are more so. Because over text, you just don't know how someone is.
Yeah, dude, I can lie over text all day long. I think I told
you can
someone...
fake a fake personality easily.
I think I told someone one time I owned like $1 million house, and I don't.
some hot milf.
Yeah, I was like, dang, girl.
And then sent a picture of like one of those mansions up in Bountiful.
Yeah, I'll just drive up to the mountain and be like, yeah, right here. This is me.
A picture of you in front of it.
Yeah, selfie. Like, yeah. She's like, why aren't you inside the gate of the house? Well, I'm leaving. I got to go to the store. maids didn't come in today, so I have to go do it.
Yeah. Gotta go pick up supplies.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like dating, if you're not using dating apps and
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to date as an adult, it feels so hard. I feel like, because like in high school, you were constantly and that was like young, like immature dating. Like it wasn't like real dating, you know. But even then, like the dating in high school, it was so easy to just talk to someone and just become suddenly a week later, oh, you guys are official.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. It was ridiculously easy in school.
But I think that also shows like, because people are more mature now, it's like there's a way different dynamic to dating. You know, it is nice having like something authentic happen, but I feel like as an adult it's so hard now. You know? Like
there's with like school and stuff, you know, there are people that I dated in high school and junior high and stuff that as an adult I would never date. And then there are girls in junior high and high school that at the time I wouldn't date, but as an adult I'm like, you're like the ideal partner now, you know? So
like, yeah, some girls like in middle school that I like, when I was in middle school I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, who is this? See them outside of, like, as an adult, like whoa.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we're friends on Facebook. Let me slide in.
That's why you always have to be nice to the nerdy, quiet ones, because when they graduate, they will be the hottest ones.
Yeah, but now dating's out of the question for me.
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of weird.
That works. It's awesome though, you know.
Yeah, it's weird because I haven't been in like a serious relationship in like years. Yeah. So it's like,
yeah, I am like weirdly, dude. I'm like all about like love and relationships. It's like my favorite thing. You know, I love when people get together and they're dating someone that makes them happy. It's my absolute favorite thing.
I mean, it's awesome to see, especially when they're like really good for each other.
Exactly.
And even when they're not, when they're like, say, in the most toxic relationship, they're building character.
It is building like as much as that sucks, it builds character.
Yeah. But like there's always positives in every bad situation.
Yeah,
you'll always learn something in every negative situation you're in. So you can always like find positives from negatives.
Yeah, right? And I in a toxic situation, you grow more from that than a positive one, because you know if you're dating someone who's absolutely perfect for you, there's not a whole lot of change you guys have to do to get along. You know, there's some give and take in every relationship. But if you're good for each other, most likely you guys can work things out.
Well, I kind of agree with that, actually.
Okay.
So I think with if you find someone that's really good for you, if you just become comfortable and content and fall into kind of a comfortable routine with them, you're right. Absolutely right. But like with me and my girlfriend, every week we're like reevaluating and like just like figuring out like what can we do together to continue growing as people, as individuals, and how can we hold each other accountable at this. Like just as an example, so we have like a routine of like working out every Friday night, going hiking usually every Saturday morning, just with our group of friends. And then we're like keeping track of it. We're like helping each other like make sure we're waking up on time, accountability kind of stuff. And then we're also like, let's set goals together for our personal lives and our relationship. So we're constantly trying to like build each other up now.
Well, that's actually, I fully agree. That's kind of where I may have said it wrong. That is exactly what I was meaning.
Okay.
Where it's like I said with the give and take, you know, like you guys do have to work through stuff, but with you and your girlfriend, for example, you guys are, you know, really good together and you just want to see each other progress.
Right.
You're progressing together in a way, but it's also not the same progression that someone would get through a toxic relationship. I'm not saying it's not anywhere as successful, but I feel like, you know, the paths are very different to the same outcome, kind of.
I think it's almost different forms of growth.
Yeah.
I feel like the growth in a good relationship, in a great relationship that you find, it's like, it kind of more is like, it's kind of like once you find someone that you really are compatible with, you guys really just build this pyramid together.
Build up. Yeah.
But when it's a toxic relationship, it kind of like collapses. It's like you kind of like collapse, and then suddenly start to like build yourself.
Okay.
So it's like rather than building. So like, I feel like from the toxic relationship, you end up building straight up because you're like primarily yourself.
Yeah.
With a good relationship, you're kind of building up at an angle, like with each other, like this, kind of going together at the top of till you're at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Though you'll never actually reach the top of the pyramid because there's always growth.
Yeah, you can always grow.
So you're constantly going, but you never quite touch, like because it'll never be perfect, right?
Yeah.
There's always growth to be made.
You always have to work at it.
But you can keep going up, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think? Okay, so toxic relationship, healthy relationship. Both of them are going to cause emotional and personal growth. What do you think is more, which one of those two do you think is more prominent in those two types of relationships?
I think it depends on the relationship that you really establish from the beginning, because I think it can be both, really. I think, as an example, I think it just depends on the dynamic. It's because there really is no black and white, right? It's very gray. I
agree.
So just as an example, with a toxic relationship, typically what will happen is one of two things. You guys are all over the place, you know, keep kind of maybe going up, falling, and then it's just holding each other down maybe. Yeah. One of them's holding the other one down. One of two ways it will go. It'll go to you separate, and you just personal growth
skyrocket,
goes up, right? Or somehow, by the miracle, because it's happened before, you two just suddenly realize, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Excuse my language. What are we doing? Suddenly it's like this to suddenly, okay, hold up, we have something here, and you both start going up. Yeah. And then you suddenly have, the relationship was not toxic and now suddenly is. So it like depends on that dynamic. So I think it could go, you could have a ton of personal development or have a bunch of like that both kind of development together, relationship development. And same with a good relationship. If like maybe it could start out really well and you're getting tons of growth, but one could collapse. I think it's possible that it's because it's not, you don't want to just expect that it's going to work out forever. You hope it does, right? But there's always, you never know.
Yeah, you can be 99.99% sure, but you not for 100%.
Right.
I think in a healthy relationship, I would say for maybe a lot of issues within those is there's usually like a lot of emotional growth, but not a lot. And maybe not in all cases, obviously, but in a decent amount, there's not a lot of personal growth because of the complacent thing we were talking about earlier. Right. So they're not focusing on their goals, but they're like learning how to love and appreciate someone, but not a whole lot of personal growth,
Yeah, and that was actually going to bring me to my next point with the relationship with personal versus like
emotional
growth or whatever, right? So like, one thing when you guys are building up, and this is why it's so important that you don't become fully codependent on each other. It could be like a great relationship you guys are building up, but if you're still not building up at least like your own foundation and support in your personal life, not like aside from her. Let's say you guys are building up, you didn't build anything in your personal life, just mostly the relationship. Let's say she falls and breaks her side. Something happens. Yeah. That's going to cause you to collapse.
Oh, yeah. You have nothing to rely on.
Exactly. So, but if you built your own personal growth life, if you can become, I guess it's kind of about the self-awareness, right? You have to be self-aware about it. Yeah. And self-aware about the relationship with, am I doing what I need to prevent that from happening? Yeah. So that way, if it does happen, she collapses, you're still up there. Yeah. It's hard. You're hanging on, but you built it strong enough.
But you haven't collapsed.
That you're like, I can keep going.
You still have your sense of individuality. Yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
So that's how I see it. I feel like there's no right or wrong answer. Yeah. Kind of.
Everybody will see it differently,
but there is kind of an average. There is like I don't know what the statistics would be. Yeah. But the majority is you're probably right. Of toxic would be more personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
The majority would. And then personal or emotional growth would be more like the majority would find more personal growth in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's how I see it. That's my perception or perspective on it. Anyways.
Yeah. And like I said, I agree with that. But obviously, there are also vast majorities where it is both at the same time.
Right.
So
it's like there's no just black and white.
yeah, exactly.
You know? Have we been going 45 minutes already?
I don't know. Has it been 45 minutes?
I think so. If that clock is right, does that?
Oh, okay.
Is that counting fast or is that like?
1 Mississippi. It's okay. It's on. It's on.
It is on?
Yeah, it's on.
You sure?
It's good.
Let's see. 1,000. 1,000. 2 1,000.
You have an
3,
issue
1,000.
with Mississippi's?
I do. I went to Mississippi, dude. Worst experience of my life.
Pretty bad.
Shout out to Mississippi, by the way. I've actually never been.
Oh, it's terrible place, but I've never been there.
No, it'd be cool. Isn't it just like what's in Mississippi other than the Mississippi River?
I don't know. See, I went to Louisiana and I saw the Mississippi River, so I have no reason to go to Mississippi.
See, I saw the Mississippi River in Iowa.
I'll see.
So it's like, why do I need to go to Mississippi?
Yeah, we don't need to go. You know, we can go to all the other 49 states except Mississippi.
What's in Mississippi? The Mississippi River. I already saw that in Iowa. All
yeah,
right. You're good then.
That's it. You don't have to go to Mississippi.
But I think we should probably start wrapping up.
All right.
I've liked these shorter episodes actually. Like usually I try to shoot for about an hour.
Yeah.
But these last 4 episodes or so, I think one of them hit an hour. I think like 30 to 40 minutes is kind of like perfect. Because it's usually about the 40, 45 minutes that I usually get. Unless it's like, depending on the conversation, if it's like just suddenly back and forth for that long.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You know, but I don't know. I just like kind of the shorter 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to talk to you for more than 45 minutes.
So. I wouldn't either.
Yeah, see.
Nobody usually does. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
It's banter.
It was a little bit kind of here and there, but I feel like it kind of all tied into the subject of time.
Yeah.
You know, dating,
time,
childhood.
Yeah. Personal growth,
video games then and now.
Yeah, it's all kind of the same, roughly in the same area. Or we're just trying to justify it a little bit.
Yeah. That's probably what I'll title this, something with time. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to follow the podcast and want to hear more, just subscribe, follow whatever you're listening on, or if you want to follow social media, it's just out at Reese's on Instagram. And one day I will actually post on the Facebook because we have a Facebook out at Reese's on Facebook. I just don't post anything there.
No. They also got to keep an eye out for Out at Romance as well. And
Out at Romance coming soon. Get ready to have your dating profile rizzed out. Wherever it is that you're listening, whether it's the morning, the daytime, nighttime, I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for coming on the podcast,
Thank you,
dude.
Man.
It's been a pleasure. You definitely got to hop on more.
More than well. Like, I'm always down, man.
You got free time.
I got free time now. Got free time.
Have a good one, guys. Peace.